Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 55th Wing Change of Command. I'm Captain Christina Roller, your narrator for today's event. On behalf of our presiding officer, Lieutenant General Kevin B. Kennedy, Commander, 16th Air Force, today we are honoring Colonel Kristen D. Thompson on the occasion of her relinquishment of command of the 55th Wing, and Colonel Mark D. Howard upon his assumption of command. Today's ceremony is rooted in military history dating back to the 18th century during the reign of King Frederick the Great of Prussia. During this time, organizational flags were developed with colors and symbols unique to each particular unit. When the change of command took place, the outgoing commander passed the flag to the individual assuming command. This gesture was accomplished in front of the unit so that all could witness their new leader assuming this dutiful position. For over 50 years, the fight in 55th has notably contributed to our nation's military history in defense of the Constitution, gaining honor, distinction, and compiling an admirable record of achievements. Evolving from one of the many fighter groups in World War II to one of the premier intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, electronic attack, treaty verification, and agile combat support units supporting the President of the United States and Secretary of Defense. The 55th Wing has established an admirable legacy for future generations. The formations you see represent the 6 group-level organizations of the 55th Wing. Today's ceremonial music is provided by the Offutt Brass from the United States Air Force Heartland of America Band. Again, thank you for your attendance today, and we hope you enjoy this morning's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party, the playing of musical honors, the presentation of the colors, the playing of the national anthem, and we ask that you please remain standing for the invocation. Sir, permission to present the colors.
Present the colors.
Stand by colors. Stand by. Forward, forward. Forward, forward.
Please join me in the prayer if you wish. Heavenly Father, we are asking your blessing upon all who are gathered here and pray that you be with us in this transfer of responsibilities. Inspire us with your wisdom that we may appreciate the true nature of command and the serious consequences that flow from it. Lord, thank you for your present this change of command for 55 Wing Offutt Air Force Base. Today we stand in a long stream of tradition and history in marking this change of command with our time and attention. We thank you for choosing leaders with integrity, who apply lead the mission, who motivate us in our work, and ultimately promote freedom in the world by training Air Force airmen. We humbly ask your blessing upon Colonel Kristen D. Thompson and Colonel Mark D. Howard as they pass between the guidon of command. As it passes, strengthen both in the task to which you have called them. Go with the Colonel Kristen D. Thompson for their new assignment. Remind the Colonel Mark D. Howard and his family as he leads the 55 Wing to the new height of excellence. Give us the commitment to serve our new commander well. Thank you for your never-ending love, strength, courage, and guidance. Keep unlocking the full potential of the outstanding 55 Wing. In your holy name we pray, amen.
Thank you to the Offutt Air Force Base Honor Guard, Heartland of America Band, and Chaplain Guida. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We would like to welcome our special guests with us today. From Colonel Thompson's family, we have her mother, Donna Larson, and husband, Dr. James Larson, her brother-in-law, Brian Kellerman, and her niece, Adeline. And from Colonel Howard's family, we have his wife, Shannon, and sons, Brandon and Cade, his uncle, Mr. Stephen Gay, United States Navy, and his guest, Miss Pat Dobbs, his aunt, Miss Christine Gay, and her wife, JJ, his cousin, Mrs. Susan Hirsch, and her husband, Bill, and his father-in-law, Master Sergeant Roderick Charles, United States Air Force retired, and his wife, Deborah. In addition, we are very pleased to have numerous distinguished visitors in attendance with us today. Please hold your applause until all the introductions have been made. We would like to recognize General Anthony Cotton, Commander, United States Strategic Command, and his wife, Marcia, the Honorable Rusty Hike, Mayor of Bellevue, the Honorable Don Grosser, Mayor of Ralston, and his wife, Deb, the Honorable Paul Lambert, Mayor of Plattsmouth, and his guest, Miss Emily Bausch, Plattsmouth City Administrator, Mr. Brent Christensen, Foreign Policy Advisor, United States Strategic Command, Brigadier General Anne-Marie Anthony, Director, Joint Electromagnetic Spectrum Operations, United States Strategic Command, Brigadier General Paul Cohen, United States Air Force retired, Mr. Chad Stevenson, Director, Enterprise Center, United States Strategic Command, Mr. Kevin Hubert, representing the Honorable Deb Fisher, United States Senator for Nebraska, Mr. Felix Ungerman, representing the Honorable Don Bacon, United States House of Representatives for Nebraska's 2nd Congressional District, and his wife, Katina, Miss Deb Shore, representing the Honorable Mike Flood, United States House of Representatives for Nebraska's 1st Congressional District, Colonel Erica Flanagan, Deputy Chief of Staff, United States Strategic Command, Chief Master Sergeant Kenneth Bruce, Command Chief, 16th Air Force, Mr. Mike Royster, spouse of Melissa Royster, Command Chief, 55th Wing, Mrs. Stacy Worth, spouse of Rear Admiral Robert Worth, Deputy Director, Strategic Targeting and Nuclear Mission Planning, United States Strategic Command. We would also like to extend a warm welcome to all former 55th Wing and Vice Wing commanders, former command chiefs, active and retired group and squadron commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, the Offutt Advisory Council, 55th Wing Association, friends and family, and the men and women of Team Offutt that are joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to introduce to you our presiding officer, Lieutenant General Kevin B. Kennedy, Commander, 16th Air Force.
All right, well, good morning. What a fantastic morning. And you know, I came in from Texas. It's over 100 degrees. I'd rather stay here. It's fantastic. Plus, I'm a huge baseball fan for college baseball. So, you know, I am torn tomorrow. I'm an ACC family, but I like Paul Skeens. So we'll have to see. Either way, it's a win tomorrow or tonight. Today, thank you for joining the Airmen of the 55th Wing as we mark a key milestone in their history. The change of command from Colonel Kristen K.T. Thompson to Colonel Mark Chili Howard. Our narrator has introduced many of our distinguished guests today. General Cotton, thank you for coming. Marcia, very nice to meet you, and thank you for coming as well. And our two mayors, thank you for your continued support for the base and for being here today. And everyone else that's here, I offer my personal thanks for your attendance. It means a great deal. Thank you to prioritize this event amongst the many, many demands on your schedule. I'd also like to thank the team that pulled this ceremony together. As in any successful military operation, detailed planning and aggressive execution are vital. Ceremonies are no different. For today's ceremonies, I would like to recognize the airmen who made it a reality. Our project officers, Major Kennedy, no relation, and Major Milner, our narrator, Captain Roller, the 55th Wing Protocol Office, Tech Sergeant Lang and Mr. Bertoski specifically, Chaplain Gana for the Invocation, the Base Honor Guard, the many volunteers who help with logistics, and the Heartland of America Band for that beautiful rendition of the national anthem. Please join me in a round of applause. So as the presiding officer today, I have three tasks. One, recognize the selfless service of Colonel K.T. Thompson and the support she received from her family. Two, celebrate the tremendous accomplishments of the Fighting 55th, who flourished under Colonel Thompson's leadership. And three, welcome Colonel Howard and the Howard family to their new role within the wing. I'll begin with Colonel Thompson's service. Leading a wing of the scale, scope, and complexity of the 55th is no small task. 7,800 total force airmen, 6 groups, 31 squadrons, and 50 detachments scattered across the globe in a total of 6 worldwide locations. Not only does she lead the Fighting 55th, she also ensures the welfare and discipline of the entire Offutt installation, and she helps ensure the mission of U.S. Strategic Command. Kristen is an expert at working in the gray. With no checklists, she gets it done. She understands how to exercise tactical patience to achieve strategic growth, allowing the airmen in her wing to grow as airmen and leaders. She instilled this same mindset amongst her squadron commanders, making it the key to their success. KT, thanks to your vision and dedication and deliberate efforts to empower your team, they elevated to new heights and unprecedented achievements. In summary, Colonel Thompson has led the 55th Wing superbly. Now let's take a moment to celebrate the 55th Wing successes that occurred during Colonel Thompson's time in the seat. First, normalization of information warfare operations at the tactical and operation levels. Specifically, she drove changes in RC-135 operations and planning for the EC-37 and E-7 employment by integrating our air battle managers and growing electronic warfare operator expertise. KT guided critical efforts to create and activate Detachment 1. Detachment 1 oversees an information warfare training and research environment and training and follow-on training operations. By doing this, she ensured availability for the entire United States Air Force and enabled information warfare readiness and provided opportunities for information warfare capability development with our joint partners. The Fighting 55th successfully reopened off its runway after 2 years of construction. The 55th was at the front of evolving the way we fight as the sole wing in our NAF to receive designation as an ACC lead wing to prepare for potential conflict in the Pacific. KT, you have seamlessly woven information warfare and airborne operations into the fabric of 16th Air Force. During competition, information warfare is the dominant activity, and in crisis it is the most vital activity for military operations. It guides our nation's response. During those periods, it is our mission to generate insights and expose adversary intent and malign activity. Under Colonel Thompson's leadership, the airmen of the 55th demonstrated that they are the competition force and our first call in a crisis. As we celebrate the success of the 55th, it is clear that Colonel Thompson has been the right airman to lead this wing at this moment in our nation's history. But I would be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to thank the Thompson family, her mother, Donna Larson, and her husband, Dr. James Lawson, her brother-in-law, Brian, and her niece, Adeline, who is here. You may see her wandering around. Your support to Kristen and the wing the past 2 years has been a gift to our airmen, a gift of your time, a gift of your energy, A gift in that you enabled Kristen's service, and a gift that you willingly shared, Kristen, with a few thousand airmen and their families. As we wish Kristen clear skies for her next chapter, please know that we are forever in your debt. KT, you've had a tremendous impact on the defense of our nation. As you relinquish command, know you've made a difference in the lives of our airmen, and will be remembered for years to come as a superb leader, a leader who epitomized what it means to be a servant leader, a leader that showed each and every airman what it means to live our core values of integrity, service, and excellence. Now, as one leader departs the pattern, another enters. Colonel Mark Howard is already a member of the wing leadership team. As the vice commander, he has helped the wing achieve many of the successes the past 2 years. But he will gain new perspective and meet new challenges in the wing command seat. Colonel Howard is joined by his family, his wife Shannon, and his sons Caden and Brandon. I would normally welcome you to the base, however, you're pretty well acquainted with the location and the team here at the 55th. So instead, I'll say thank you for your continued support to Mark and our wing. When selecting a wing commander, I look for leaders who have demonstrated the ability to build teams, communicate their vision, and continually seek a connection with the airmen who are entrusted to their command, as well as leaders who continually seek greater understanding and deeper insight on the mission they are charged to lead. Colonel Howard is that airman. A California native and lifelong learner, Colonel Howard has excelled throughout his career. You can see in your program the many positions he has held. What you cannot see are the many endorsements of Colonel Howard's leadership and expertise by his senior leaders. This includes the Cyber Command Deputy Commander, the current 7th Air Force Commander, the current Director of Strategy, Policy, and Resources at Headquarters Air Force, and Colonel Thompson herself. I have no doubt that Colonel Howard is the right airman to take the flag from Colonel Thompson and lead the 55th to new heights. In closing, I want to speak directly to the airmen in the formation seated behind the audience. The Fighting 55th. We are in a decisive decade, a decade that will set the course of our nation's security for the next century. In this decade, the People's Republic of China will be the pacing challenge, and Russia will remain an acute threat to our nation's security. You are in a unique position. You are pursuing and exposing our adversaries each and every day. You are shaping the future of information warfare through excellence in ISR and electronic warfare. Your knowledge, your expertise will remain in high demand. I'm incredibly proud of your accomplishments under Colonel Thompson's leadership, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you will achieve with Colonel Howard in the seat. Your leadership, your Air Force, and your nation are on your wing. As our song says, off we go. Thank you.
Thank you, General Kennedy. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as General Kennedy presents Colonel Thompson with the Legion of Merit.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. Colonel Kristen D. Thompson distinguished herself by exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 55th Wing, Offutt Air Force Base, Nebraska, from 18 June 2021 to 22 June 2023. During this period, Colonel Thompson's exemplary ability, diligence, and devotion to duty were instrumental to the Air Force and nation. Her leadership was pivotal in guiding Air Combat Command's largest wing, consisting of over 10,500 personnel, 6 groups, and 31 squadrons across 11 geographically separated units, executing intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, electronic attack, global command and control, and nuclear command, control, and communications on behalf of combatant commanders across the globe. Her dynamic leadership was key to providing critical intelligence to senior leaders in the evolving European and Indo-Pacific commands, epitomizing the 55th Wing's global contribution to the information warfare mission. She drove the groundbreaking of a $200 million nuclear command, control, and communications campus, overseeing the successful return to full operations and setting the enterprise standard for electromagnetic spectrum integration across 6 flying platforms. Due to her decisive leadership, the 55th Wing was named one of 5 lead wings under Air Combat Command, ensuring a smooth transition into the new Air Force Generation model. she adeptly reinforced partnerships within the local Omaha community, supporting over 57,000 personnel and 51 tenant units, including the 557th Weather Wing, Defense Prisoner of War Missing in Action Accounting Agency, 595th Command and Control Group, and United States Strategic Command. Lastly, Colonel Thompson delivered a new forward operating location in Alaska, bolstering joint multi-domain operational capabilities across combatant commands, strengthening the United States and the United Kingdom partnership, and ultimately securing a key combat alliance for European Command and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization commanders. The superior initiative, outstanding leadership, and personal endeavor displayed by Colonel Thompson reflect great credit upon herself and the United States Air Force.
Thank you, General Kennedy. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. It is my honor to present to you the commander of the 55th Wing, Colonel Kristen Thompson.
Whew. Man, okay. Well, I will begin how I always do with changes of command. This is freaking awesome. And if you know me, it's really hard for me to hide my enthusiasm, but today it's really, really hard. Mainly because I love this wing and base so much, and I'm proud to be an honorary Nebraskan. It's the best feeling in the world. I'll start first with thank yous. These are the folks that made the extraordinary look easy. Huge shout out to our dear honor guard, the Heartland of America Band, the legend that is Ski and Team Protocol, the change of command POCs, Ashley Milner, Anne-Marie Kennedy, Brett Hannenberger, our public affairs rock star, Ryan Hansen and his team, my dear friend and chaplain of 17 years, Chaplain Guida, the 55th Wing Front Office, and everyone else who helped along the way. Thank you very much to the DVs that are here, and that means so much to me and to this wing, including General and Mrs. Cotton, Mayor Hike, Mayor Lambert, our distinguished leaders of Offutt and our community, Chief Bruce, our Offutt Advisory Council, my dear neighbors on the row, commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, friends, family, and airmen of the Fightin' 55th. Thank you all so much for being here. Lieutenant General Kennedy, wow, sir. From our shared times back at Al Udeed over a decade ago to now, I'm so very grateful to have you as a boss. Thank you for taking such good care of a little major that was wide-eyed and eager to learn to a wing commander who now wants to replicate and emulate everything you do and everything you stand for. You, Major General Gatica and Chief Bruce, are leading the Air Force with your ideas, your drive, and your passion. You help us all within 16th Air Force anticipate new challenges and look for new air power solutions to solve them. This is what our nation expects, and I'm glad to have you as a boss and numbered Air Force commander to do this very thing. And to the fantastic leaders I've had the privilege to serve and work with over the last 2 years, group commanders, Jason Cooley, Kyle Clement, Bull Rachel, Mo Olson, Wendy Squarsha, Chris Backus, and Matt Hensley. This team of commanders and their SELs are the best in the biz. Thank you for always standing strong, standing proud, making the tough calls, and for never giving up on your airmen. Chief Royster, Chief, thanks for taking such good care of our wing and our airmen. Everyone, and I mean everyone, is grateful for your steady example and for showing us it's okay to pour our hearts out for our airmen and what we believe in. The heart and soul you've poured into me and everyone else in this hangar is unmatched. Chief, we love you. You'll see many of my kids running around helping with this ceremony too. They are family for me when I needed family. They bestowed on me so much love, grace, and compassion. Guys, I'm forever grateful for your support and for just being you at all times. I trusted you guys implicitly with the toughest of problems, and you delivered every single time. I could not be more proud of you, and I love you all dearly. Flipper, thanks for killing it on the mic. If you don't know Captain Christina Roller, you should get to know her. She is outstanding. Well done as always, Flipper. Many of you have heard me say this, but the strength of this wing is due in large part to the leaders at the squadron level. My dear squadron commanders, all 31 of you, you guys are the most important humans in my life as a commander, and I'm so proud of all of you. Every day I spend with each of you, my life is enriched. We were successful as a wing because you guys made us successful. I can't stress that enough. The harmony I see between the squadron commanders is my proudest achievement, and they are my most treasured gifts. So if you'll indulge me a little, I would like to talk about what makes the Fighting 55th so darn awesome. You give this wing any problem, and it will crush it. ACE, Chinese intercepts, COVID recovery, base defense, NC3 support, expeditionary comms. It's what we do here in the Fighting 55th. We innovate and we fight. And together as a wing, we place emphasis on 3 things that help us fight. They are mission, family, and relationships, MFR. So let's start with mission. This wing has a global impact. From Mo Olson's indomitable electronic combat group that flies the sturdy tank that jams like a boss, to our operating locations at Elmendorf, Mildenhall, Digby, Suda Bay, Al Udeid, Kadena, and everywhere else in between. Whenever the nation needs the 55th Wing, we are present and we are engaged. And we have an extensive shoot list. We will bring dominant air power and all 5 Air Force Corps functions to bear. No one else does this. It's our calling card. 4,200 sorties, 3,500 personnel deployed, 13,000 hours flown a year, simultaneously covering 10 time zones while airborne 22 of 24 hours a day. Kyle, we have you and our incredible maintenance group to thank for those unbelievable stats. When our nation needs the Fighting 55th, we are ready. Now to our F in MFR, family. I am honored that Offutt is part of the fabric that knits our Air Force and Nebraska family together. We have 57,000 people outside the wire that depend on the 55th Wing daily. When you are the most deployed wing in the Air Force, you have to get that support right. We have the best FSS in the Air Force, and when Magician Davis does magical things, our families and community thrive. Relationships. This is where Kristen Thompson, Chili Howard, and Melissa Royster spent a lot of their leadership capital. Whether it was moving the 595th Command and Control Group into their new E4B hangar, watching Team DPAA bring our fallen warriors home, seeing STRATCOM absolutely set the tone for how we deter 2 near-peer nuclear-capable adversaries simultaneously, or witnessing everyday integration with our 170th Group Air National Guard teammates. Relationships here are pivotal. And as a wing, we also place value on our 3 I's: integration, indispensability, and taking care of the individual airmen. And if you know me, I take great pride in being a warfighting wing. Daily, we were able to prove our lethality, and I'm so grateful to the commander of ACC, General Kelly, for giving the 55th Wing an opportunity to lead and demonstrate our indispensability as an ACC lead wing. He placed a lot of faith and trust in our leaders here to carry his vision forward, and you all did not disappoint. But where I am most proud is how we take care of the individual airmen. Here at Offutt, we prize the beauty and brilliance of our folks. Through the Rev, Sword Athena, Warhawk Leadership Course, Flight Commander Course, Top 4 Focus Group, True North, Pause X, you all are remarkable in your caring and compassion. And when Chili, Chief, and I get to hug on the necks of those that demonstrate their excellence every day, there is nothing better. And many of the airmen that I hugged graciously did the same for me. Some know my younger sister Carrie passed just about a year ago from skin cancer. Losing her was life-defining, but it was also life-encouraging. She was 39, Air Force Academy class of 2004, wife, mom, daughter, and sister. I try to live her selfless example every day. She cared for everyone and encouraged me to always drive forward, and I like to think that's what we do here too. Carrie's husband, Brian, and their daughter, Adeline, are here, and I love you both very much. Brian, thank you for coming. Carrie no doubt loves that you and Adeline are at an Air Force ceremony. This day would not have been right without you here. Mom, thanks for being a rock. Your strength and fight are otherworldly and superhuman and remarkable. I like to think that my sister got her strength to fight from you. I know I did. I have some small gifts to thank you all for being awesome. I love you guys. That's just a small glimpse into taking care of the individual airmen, but there are many more. We placed a human face on the mission, which allowed us to convey Commander's intent and reach our airmen's hearts and minds. And now to dearest Chili. Chili, I'm forever grateful I was able to take this command journey with you. Our teamwork, but your dogged determination, professionalism, persistence, and patience paid dividends. We appreciate all you did to drive our $1 billion flood recovery, to improve our combat focus, robust our exercise calendar, build an A staff, and take our platform into the future. You made Offutt better, and I'm proud to have served alongside of you. You and Shannon will do magnificently as the new leaders of the Fighting 55th. This is your wing now. I'm often asked, what's the perfect day in command? We had it, and let me describe it for you. It was September 30th, 2022, when we reopened our runway and airfield. The day started at Lincoln, where John Williams' ramp was filled with RC-135s and E-4s. And thankfully, the weather was perfect, Dewey. Our maintainers launched all 7 aircraft. The LRS moved 25 million tons of equipment. The ops groups flew the jets home with COMAC on board and at the controls. Lynn Hack's airfield was open for business, and Team AFCEC certified the runway ready for that first landing. We flew that RJ onto the new runway with the whole base, our families, community, and elected leaders there to cheer us on. If that's not a great way to celebrate what we do as airmen, I'm not sure what is. It was perfect. And at the 55th Wing, we will never forget we are a nation built upon an ideal. Our military is a national treasure built on the blood, sweat, and tears of our patriots. I'm very fond of a story of Revolutionary War hero, General Nathaniel Greene. General Greene was given command of the Southern armies during this defining period, and many times during the war, General Greene and his men were outnumbered, outtrained, and outsupplied compared to the British. But Greene did have one advantage, though. It was his army's will to fight and the willingness to fight for that ideal despite overwhelmingly tough odds. Continually knocked down, but not out, General Greene always got the best out of his team, and he got it right when he said, as Americans, we fight, get beat, rise, and we fight again. There is nothing more American or Nebraskan than that mantra. And again, it's what we believe here in the Fighting 55th. The sun never sets on this incredible fighting force. We foster a culture here that captures our airmen's and nation's imagination, our civilian leadership's trust, and our service's brilliance. Just ask General Cotton, Congressman Bacon, Lieutenant General Kennedy, Chief Bruce, Dewey Stebbins, or Chief Small. To conclude, thank you to everyone here. You humble both Chili and me with your presence, and we love you all dearly. Commanding this wing has been an honor of a lifetime, and I'm forever grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Thompson. And now, the men and women of the 55th Wing will honor Colonel Thompson with a final salute. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the change of command ceremony. Attention to orders. Under the provisions of Air Force Instruction 51-604, General Order 011, by order of Lieutenant General Kevin B. Kennedy, Commander, 16th Air Force, Colonel Kristen D. Thompson, Commander, 55th Wing relinquishes command, and Colonel Mark D. Howard assumes command of the 55th Wing, effective this 22nd day of June, 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you the Commander, 55th Wing, Colonel Mark D. Howard. Please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, General Cotton, Mrs. Cotton, mayors, distinguished visitors, all our guests, I'm going to start off a little backwards. I'm going to thank my amazing wife first. Usually you have the wife thanked last, but Shannon, seriously, thank you so much. It's been quite a journey to get to this point. Team Howard has been through some rare and unique challenges, and we are so humbled and honored to serve this elite group of warfighters. Both sons are native Nebraskans. Kate's here with us today. Brandon had a school event that he could not miss, but we are deeply and we cherish Bellevue, Nebraska so much. This is where our roots are. Kate's friends, Alex, Andrew, and John are here with us. Each time we returned, you welcomed us back like we never left, and we thank you so dearly for that. I'd like to thank a couple of folks who made this event happen. General Hawk, the former 16th Air Force Commander, now Director of National Security Agency and U.S. Cybercom, indebted to him for this opportunity for sure. Major General Gatica, key mentor, life coach, the Vice Commander of 16th Air Force. Brigadier General Mannion, the greatest guy to work for. No offense, sir. General Kelly, the Commander of Air Combat Command, the benevolent leader we all aspire to emulate. And sir, Lieutenant General Kennedy, allowing for this opportunity. Sir, your trust and confidence will be at the forefront of every decision we make as a team. I also want to give a quick recognition to my friend, Wing Commander from Scott, who flew here on his own C-21 with his co-pilot, safely landed it himself and traveled all the way here. My good friend, Chris Robinson, the finest officer I've ever met, hands down. Need to say hello to a couple of group and squadron commanders who led us here and got us to this point. Tinger Tingstad, thank you for trusting a steely-eyed weapons officer to change your squadron for good. Mr. Chad Stevenson, your investments in a captain led directly to this event. Mo Krishna, for your role. He actually told me that I was going to be one of his squadron commanders, technically before he was even a group commander. And I appreciate his efforts. Heine Heininger, sir, you signed my first OPR from EWO school in 2001. Forever grateful for you. And I also want to thank some key mentors, the finest, most professional enlisted corps in the world, Master Sergeant and First Shirt retired my father-in-law, Rod Charles. You gave me my first salute at OTS, supported Team Howard every step of the way. Master Sergeant retired Dr. Spidey Melander. You took me under your wing on my first deployment as a leader on the Rivet Joint. Chief Master Sergeant retired Jeff Johnson, our now 55th Wing Tech Director, and I'm so glad that we get to continue serving this great team. I need to thank my family, Uncle Steve, and Pat, and Christy, JJ, Cousin Susan and Bill. I need to say hi to my mom on Facebook. She wasn't able to make it today, and Stan, and now to Katie. 2 years of one of the greatest mentors I've ever worked with, hands down. One of the Air Force's finest, brightest stars. One of the best role models you could ask for. She's humble, approachable, credible. I am grateful I can call you friend and fellow warrior. No one I'd rather go to battle with. Changed the entire trajectory of this unit. Broke the 1990s mold off it. Enjoy New York City. You earned it. And one day we'll all get to say, I got to work for her once upon a time, and they'll say, no way. All right, Warhawks. Your key characteristic is that you never give up on each other. Our asymmetric advantage is our warfighting spirit, especially when it comes to competition. Our new systems require new tactics, new techniques, new procedures, and we are excited and more than ready for that challenge. Our courage and resolve will be tested, but we are in this together, and we have what it takes. Warhawks, let's get back to work. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Howard. And now the men and women of the 55th will welcome Colonel Howard with his first salute as the wing commander. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great warfighting traditions of World War I, when aviation units were first organized for aerial combat, a commander's aircraft was painted with unique markings to distinguish it from the others. The practice lives on today in painting the commander's name on the flagship of the fleet. Warfighters from the 55th Wing take the fight to the enemy in RC-135, WC-135, and EC-130 aircraft. The sun never sets on the fight in 55th. Please direct your attention to outside the hangar doors as Staff Sergeant Corey Bradley presents the Wing Commander's RC-135 rivet joint, tail number 842. Ladies and gentlemen, the men and women of the Fight in 55th are proud to have served with Colonel Thompson and wish her good luck and best wishes in her new assignment. We are also honored to have Colonel Howard assume his position as commander of the Fight in 55th. We invite everyone to attend the reception immediately following the ceremony at the Warhawk Community Center. Please remain in your place until our distinguished visitors exits. Please stand and join us in the singing of the Air Force song. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the official party, thank you for attending our ceremony.